I will call the board meeting to order. Mr. Dieter, roll call vote, please.
Leyland?
Here.
Little?
Here.
Schwartz?
Here.
White?
Here.
Joka?
Here. Please join me for a moment of silence so we can reflect on our actions. Join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'll entertain a motion to receive the agenda as proposed or amended.
So moved. Second?
All those in favor say aye.
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 All those opposed say no. Do we have anybody in the boardroom that would like to provide public comment? Do we have anyone on Zoom or on the phone that would like to provide public comment? We have none. We'll move on to agenda item number 3, and this is a resolution that pursuant to the provisions of Iowa open meeting laws, the Blackhawk County Board of Supervisors shall proceed into closed session at 9:00 a.m. It is now approximately 9:02 a.m. for the purpose of collective bargaining strategies pursuant to subsection 20.17 of the Code of Iowa.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Veeder, roll call vote, please.
Leyland?
Yes.
Little?
Yes.
Schwartz?
Yeah. Yes.
White?
Yes.
Joka?
Yes. All right, we got everybody. We got Tom back. We got Grant. Amy is here. So we're back in open session. Item number 4, claims and payments. Mr. Perry.
This week's expenditures total $742,686.40, of which of the Sheriff's Department $156,401, E911 Capital $429,679, and secondary roads $53,913. Everything looked normal.
And this is a resolution that the Board of Supervisors approve expenditures and that the county auditor be authorized and directed to issue checks against the various settlements of such claims as allowed. Do we have a motion?
Move to. So moved.
Moved by Chris.
Second.
Seconded by Linda. Any comments or questions? Mr. Veeder, roll call vote, please.
Little?
Yes.
Schwartz?
Yes.
White?
Yes.
Leyland?
Yes.
Joka?
Yes. Item number 5 is project updates from department heads and elected officials. Kathy?
Good morning, Board. Kathy Nicholas, County Engineer. All road construction projects are progressing smoothly. We anticipate that Brandon Road should be opening tomorrow or hopefully by tomorrow afternoon. And I did want to touch on another topic with you that I brought up a few weeks ago. With your permission, we would like to move ahead with the electronic bidding. I discussed with you experimenting with that, trying a pilot project on the Grundy Road paving project. We would like to let that in late October. I would like to know how you'd like me to proceed, how we can make you comfortable with this. We can have, there's demonstration videos that are available that the vendor can supply to us that we could show to you in a work session, or I could just try and find a 3-minute snippet for something you to look at.
Has most of the contractors dealt with this already?
Yes, like I've said, all DOT projects are let electronically now, so all major contractors are used to paying a fee and submitting a bid electronically. We would like to, this would cover an asphalt project, so those people who we expect to bid on it, we expect that they have submitted bids to the Iowa DOT before. We would like to expand this further in the future to include all of our bidding, so for example, maintenance bidding projects, maintenance projects bids, such as pavement markings, seal coating, that type of thing. So we would take small steps to get us
Right.
into that process.
Because the smaller contractors are the ones you got to teach, right?
Right, but as you know, so many things are done electronically nowadays, and that would save them from driving from, for example, Humboldt is where our seal coaters come from.
But
Yeah.
it still gives them the option if they want to.
Yes, and they
actually,
could still submit a paper
They
bid.
didn't want to do it.
This might increase competition too, so
Yeah,
I say
it
move forward.
Oh, sorry. Tom?
No, it's the same question. They could still submit a paper bid.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. She
Just-
said yes.
Yeah.
I'd be good with just an email explaining the process.
Yep.
And what was important to me, again, is the hybrid ability.
Or is there a link you could make with a video, a shortened video or something?
Yep,
of it?
I
And if
can
they wanna
have-
watch it, then it's
Sure.
there, but if not,
Ryan put together some information for you, and we can get that to you, and you can let us know if you need more information.
I think it's a good
yeah,
venture.
no, good. No, me too. Thank you, Kathy.
Thank you.
Any other department heads or elected officials on Zoom? Minutes approved from September 7th, 2021.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? None. Item number 7, the consent
So
agenda.
moved.
Second.
Mr. Veeder, roll call vote.
Schwartz,
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Leyland,
Yes.
Little,
Yes.
Trelka.
Yes. Item 8A is a resolution that the lowest reasonable bid received from Driveline, Dubuque, Iowa, in the amount of $7,798 for a Western Tornado polyhopper spreader to be used for sanding the parking lots be approved as recommended by Rory Giving, Maintenance Superintendent.
So moved.
Second.
Comments or questions?
These all the same size? All the same size hopper and stuff?
Rory Giving, Maintenance Superintendent. Question was, are these hoppers the same size? They are. They're a 2.5 cubic yard hoppers. So all 3 bids that we received were identical as far as meeting the specifications.
Thanks, Roy.
All right.
Yep.
Mr. Veeder, roll call vote, please.
White,
Yes.
Leyland,
Yes.
Little,
Yes.
Schwartz,
Yes.
Trelka.
Yes. Item 8B is a resolution at the lowest reasonable bid received from Mid-American Energy Services, Des Moines, Iowa, for natural gas transportation services for the jail, effective November 1st, 2021 until October 31st, 2022, and the hedge gas for November through April at a fixed rate not to exceed $6 per MMBTU be approved, and for the chair to sign the contract upon receipt as recommended by Rory Giving, Maintenance Superintendent.
Second.
They're the only person in the game, right?
No, actually,
Who else can transport it?
we actually have had Wood River last year and Encore the 2 years prior to that. And
Yeah.
about 7 years prior to that had been Mid-Americans.
Yeah,
So, but I did want to share with the board today, we did check on the gas rates this morning right before the meeting, and it was at 605. I know that we identified it in the agenda as not to exceed 6. That would probably, I would imagine, take some sort of language to make that adjustment to allow me to approve or lock that in at 605.
So it's been moved and seconded, are both,
I think we can do an amended motion to change the rate to not to exceed. You could pick a number above 605, or you could pick 605 if you wanted to move forward right now.
Yeah, we feel pretty comfortable at the 605. Right before the meeting, that's when we reached that number, so.
Okay.
all right. Does that agree? Who made the motion? Tom. Tom, do you agree to that?
Yeah, that's
605?
perfect.
Who seconded it? Linda. Okay. Any other comments or questions? Mr. Veeder, roll call vote, please.
So we changed it to 6:05 in the motion, correct?
Yep, and as soon as if we approve it, Roy needs to lock
Down-
it in.
Downstairs.
Leyland,
We haven't voted yet.
Yes.
Little,
Yes.
Schwartz.
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Trelka.
Yes.
Make that call.
Item 8C is a resolution that the lowest reasonable bid received from Hawk Equipment, Altoona, Iowa, bid opening August 31st, 2021 at 9:05 for the purchase of one new Alpha 4-axle lowboy trailer for the Blackhawk County Secondary Roads Department, with a bid of $92,530 be approved as recommended by Catherine Nicholas, County Engineer.
So moved.
Second.
Kathy?
Yeah, as you know, we did open bids on this trailer 2 weeks ago. We received the 2 bids, and those are on the agenda here. We had budgeted $120,000 in our FY22 budget. In speaking or in looking at both of the bids, both vendors, for whatever reason, gave us polished aluminum outer wheels and then milled aluminum inner wheels, and those are pretty expensive. Those are approximately $5,700, $5,800. We asked Hawk Equipment to take those off. We just want steel wheels on our trailer, and that's how we came up with the $92,530. And they did send us a revised quote with that number. So I would recommend that we be allowed to purchase their trailer minus the more expensive wheels for the $52,530.
Mike, do you see any problems with how this evolved?
I do not know.
All right, any comments or questions? Mr. Veeder, roll call vote, please.
Little,
Yes.
Schwartz,
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Leyland,
Yes.
Trelka.
Yes. Item 8D is a resolution that the request for purchase of capital equipment submitted by Catherine Nicholas, County Engineer, be approved and direct the chair to sign for same to purchase 2 2022 Chevrolet 1500 pickup trucks in the amount of $60,436 from Witham Auto Centers, Waterloo, Iowa, be approved as recommended by Catherine Nicholas, County Engineer.
So moved.
Second.
Kathy?
Yeah, this was again another budgeted item in our FY22 budget for $80,000. It's just continuing to replace pickup trucks in our fleet. The 2 that we would be disposing of once we receive new trucks are both 250 3/4 ton diesels with over 300,000 miles on the engines. The bodies are in pretty rough shape. Some of the other issues were suspension issues, and it's just time to replace these vehicles.
Are these diesels or gasoline?
Those 2 trucks in particular are diesel.
But these, the new ones?
The new ones, excuse me, are gasoline engine. So of course, we solicited bids from local vendors, and we received these 4 bids back. And we would ask that we be allowed to purchase the pickups from Witham Auto Centers of LaPorte City for the prices shown here on the agenda.
What age are the 2 that we're getting rid of?
They're both 2003.
Are those pickups used for going home?
No, there are only 3 pickups used to go home in our secondary road staff, and that would be our superintendent, our supervisor, and then of course we have an on-call vehicle where the person on call takes the vehicle home.
Okay.
All right, any other comments or questions? Mr. Veeder, roll call vote, please.
Schwartz,
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Leyland,
Yes.
Little,
Yes.
Trelka.
Yes. Item 8E is a resolution that the Board of Supervisors approve the tentative agreement with Blackhawk County Unit 1 Clerical, represented by Public Professional and Maintenance Employees, PPME,
So moved.
Second.
Local Union 2003, effective July 1st, 2022 through June 30th, 2024. It's been moved and seconded. Any comments or questions? The only comment I have is that in light of Chapter or Code 20, I think the Board of Supervisors is doing a commendable job in just ensuring our employees are adequately and fairly treated, especially in these current times. In addition, we're also being mindful of the burden this is placing upon the taxpayers. Any others?
I would just say we support unions here in Blackhawk County, and they work for us here, and they work to help improve all aspects of services here, and we're happy to be extending these contracts.
Thank you. Yeah, just to comment, Amanda Bezemer, HR Director. So this is the first non-public safety. The remaining 4 resolutions are for our other non-public safety unions. So, and yes, these were all very well received by the unions. So I thank you for your work on and your efforts in getting these extended. And I'm on standby for any questions.
Looks like the efforts were appreciated on both parts. The extension that we were willing to do or wanted to do, I think, spoke for us unanimously, as well as them receiving them. So that's great.
This is working in partnership. Mr. Veeder, roll call vote, please.
White,
Yes.
Leyland,
Yes.
Little,
Yes.
Schwartz.
Yes.
Trelka.
Yes. Item 8F is a resolution that the Board of Supervisors approve the tentative agreement with Blackhawk County Unit Number 4,
So
Secondary Roads, represented by Teamsters, Local 278, or correction, 238, effective July 1st, 2022 to June 30th, 2024. I'll second it. It's been moved and seconded. Any comments or questions? Mr. Veeder, roll call vote.
Leyland,
Yes.
Little,
Yes.
Schwartz.
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Trelka.
Yes. Item 8G is a resolution that the Board of Supervisors approve the tentative agreement with Blackhawk County Unit 6, attorneys,
So moved.
Second.
represented by the American Federation of State, County, and Municipal Employees, AFSCME, Local 679, effective July 1st, 2022 through June 30th, 2024. It's been moved and seconded. Any comments or questions? Mr. Veeder, roll call vote.
Little,
Yes.
Schwartz.
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Leyland,
Yes.
Trelka.
Yes. Item 8H is a resolution that the Board of Supervisors approve the tentative agreement with Blackhawk County Unit 7,
So
Conservation,
moved.
represented by the American Federation of State, County, and Municipal Employees, AFL-CIO, Loco 679, effective July 1st, 2022 through June 30th, 2024. It's been moved by Mr. White and seconded by Miss Leyland. Any comments or questions? Mr. Veeder, roll call vote.
Schwartz.
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Leyland,
Yes.
Little,
Yes.
Trelka.
Yes. 8I is a resolution that the Board of Supervisors approve the tentative agreement with Blackhawk County Unit 8,
So moved.
Health, represented by the American Federation of State, County, and Municipal Employees, AFL-CIO, Local 679, effective July 1st, 2022 through June 30th, 2024. It's been moved by Mr. White and seconded first by Ms. Leyland. Any comments or questions?
I just want to add one thing, that you will see the final agreements come before you prior to the July 1st date. So these are the tentative agreements, which I can file with PERB, which is allows those retention and recertification elections to be suspended since we have an agreement in place. So, but you still will see these come back as the finalized agreements.
Okay.
Okay?
Mr. Veeder, roll call vote, please.
White,
Yes.
Leyland,
Yes.
Little,
Yes.
Schwartz.
Yes.
Trelka.
Yes. Item 9A is a motion to direct the county auditor to advertise for a public hearing to be held at 9:05 a.m. on Tuesday, September 28th, 2021, in Boardroom 201 of the Blackhawk County Courthouse, 316 East 5th Street, Waterloo, Iowa, on the proposed ordinance number 77-256
So moved.
from a request submitted by Dustin Cox to rezone 1.55 acres from A agricultural to AR agricultural residential district at 8515 Winslow Road in order to construct one new single family home. It's been moved and seconded. Any comments or questions? Mr. Veeder, roll call vote, please. Oh, I'm sorry. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed say no. Item 9B is discussion in regard to county preparedness and possible updates for COVID-19. Hi, good morning.
Good morning, Board. Joshua McCord, Disease Surveillance and Investigation Manager with the Health Department. Was asked to be here today to provide a brief update on COVID-19 efforts and COVID-19 data. As of yesterday morning, we are at 19,041 positive cases of COVID-19 in Blackhawk County, which included 17,101 recoveries, an 11.2 average 14-day % positivity, and 330 deaths. We have started to see our numbers stabilize a little bit. Our % positivity has come down over the past couple of days, and we're starting to average out in our number of average cases a day. So some good signs that we're starting to slow down, but we're still at high levels right now. So as far as vaccination status goes, as of yesterday morning, 64.8% of Blackhawk County residents aged 12 and older have received at least the first dose of COVID-19 vaccine, and that number increases to 65.9% of Blackhawk County residents when we look at the 18 and older population. Some additional updates from just current news relating to COVID-19. First, with the COVID-19 booster doses, we are still waiting for additional details on that rollout and final approval of the booster doses. When those were announced, they were expected to begin the week of September 20th, but we have they're still pending final approval. Also, current events. Last Thursday, there was an additional plan released by the White House that went over 6 different aspects of responding to the COVID-19 outbreak. The one that has gotten the most attention has been the vaccine portion of that plan, where it was announced that OSHA had been directed to establish an emergency temporary standards for employers with greater than 100 employees to mandate vaccines for their employees, or for unvaccinated employees to receive weekly testing. We are still waiting for additional details on what that final OSHA rule will look like before we'll have a little bit more details on when that will have to go in place and who all will be affected by that. But we'll have more details as those become available. Other pieces under that vaccination portion of the plan were vaccine requirements for federal workers and contractors, as well as expanding the Center for Medicaid Services mandate for healthcare providers. This had been announced in August that any long-term care facility that was receiving Medicare or Medicaid funds would be required for their staff to be vaccinated. That has been expanded to hospitals and clinics as well. So that was the major portion of the plan that's been getting a lot of attention. There are also aspects on further protection for those vaccinated, which are the booster doses, measures for schools, measures to increase access to testing, measures for economic recovery, as well as support for hospitals and those caring for COVID-19 patients.
You guys got a plan in place for when it's approved for these kids to get their shots, how you're going to do it?
Yes, we are working with our healthcare providers, our healthcare partners on what that rollout will look like. For the vaccination for kids, we're expecting that to be a little bit longer yet. We're looking at maybe closer to the end of the year for the vaccination of children under 12. And then finally, more breaking news as of last night. News came out that a judge had put a temporary restraining order in place for House File 847, which made it so that school districts cannot mandate masks and mandate universal masking in their schools. As I said, this is really breaking information, so we are still waiting for some of the dust to settle and some additional details. There have been comments that this ruling will be challenged, and it's also a temporary restraining order. It's not a full repeal, so we'll have, again, more information on that as it becomes available.
Changes day to day.
Yes, it does.
Any others?
Yes, I've got a question for HR. I first raised the issue 2 weeks ago about treating fully approved vaccines just as every other routine vaccine. We now have this OSHA safety ruling, so just wondering, we need to start plans to how we are going to respond and how to implement this new OSHA requirement.
So the last time we had an executive order come through under a previous administration, there was a bit of a lag time to understand what the guidance exactly was going to be. My understanding is that there is a mandate for vaccines, or there is a weekly testing, is kind of how I've understood it. We haven't received our guidance from our employment attorneys, but we are expecting that in the next couple of weeks, and OSHA hasn't, to my knowledge, issued anything yet. But I'm expecting we'll have, when I was looking into it, about 60 to 75 days of kind of a grace period to implement, because if the guidance does come through, and that is, what we obviously have more than 100 employees here. We do have a state OSHA program, and so therefore, we would fall in line with the Department of Labor and what OSHA guidelines have been set forth. So we are kind of on standby waiting for that guidance.
All right.
But yes, certainly if there's discussions you guys want to talk about plans, I'm available to start those discussions.
Keep us surprised.
Health department, I would assume would be helpful.
Constantly changing, so wait until we get something in.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Any others? Okay, on to item number 10, reports or information from the board. I appreciate all the effort that went into the ATV ordinance, and I respect the conclusion. We have the document. I will utilize that document to explain why it's basically a dead issue to those who support it.
Well, good. That was going to be one of my questions, if after everybody'd reviewed it, if they wanted a work session or.
Yeah, I don't think we need it. We all got the document.
What
I'm
did the
disappointed.
document say?
I'm sorry?
What did the document say? I don't know what you're talking about.
No, that's what I thought too.
Yeah, it said it's not a good idea for Blackhawk County. It was concerned about damage to parks. I'm disappointed, yeah, because I love to do it.
Yeah.
Damage to parks.
You were the. Yeah.
I'll bring my ATV to Waterloo and let's see if they can catch me.
No,
I'm seeing that across the country.
That's not the point.
Make sure you put that in there.
No, I won't. I'll do it in Wisconsin.
Well,
But it's an activity I enjoy, but I respect the conclusion that was reached
Yeah.
and all the work and effort that went into everybody that was involved.
Well, that's probably.
Be a farmer in Blackhawk County, you can drive it all around out there.
That's all he has to do is, buy a farm. Well, maybe that's something we need to consider, the public and various people don't understand some of those things. We need to find a way to maybe make that public. I don't.
Yeah, I think we should make it public.
Maybe do
as far
a-
as I'm concerned, it's a public document anyway. There's nothing in there that's confidential.
Or I was going to say, or maybe have some of the.
They're gonna
committees-
do it whether you want them to or not.
But maybe some of the committee could speak, or Kathy, or, I was going to say, have them put it on the agenda, and they'll just ask them to update everybody, and the public will get the information.
we had,
How's that?
Sure.
Would that work? So we'll do that. Then
We had-
whoever wants to. Okay, thank you.
We had the ceremony downtown over the weekend, 45 hours. During the darkness of night, each night, there was 15, 20, 30, 40 kids on those scooters going across the sidewalks, across the bridges, both nights. Going from taking the 4th Street Bridge, and then, I don't know where they went on the west side, but they come by us, and then they went on the west side and come back up on the 5th Street. It's gonna take somebody to get killed before they get rid of them. I think they're
We
a
had
safety.
we had two of them on the end of the county building on county property.
They're on our property every day.
Yeah.
Tom, they park them there every night.
Well, I think some of the attorneys.
They relocate them.
So some of the attorneys were using them as transportation downtown. So that's why some of them are on the
They'd
county
be over
property.
there, though.
No, not at your place. I mean the ones that were here, though.
I would assume they're
No,
motorized.
I said they'd be over there. Over at, if they, attorneys, where would they park them? They'd park them over where they go in the door, right?
Well, I don't know where they'd park them. I'm just telling you that that's why
On
they're
the
using
opposite
them.
side of the building is where the two are at, that I told them to move them.
Yeah. Well, I've taken them across the street before, drug them across the street.
Oh, I thought you wrote it. No, I might try one.
Motion to adjourn.
I do have a 9 mil.
Second. All those in favor say
Real big
aye.
target.
Aye.
I
Aye.
I-
Opposed say no. We are adjourned.